Hi guys, it's Lizzie again. Welcome back to my channel. So in my last video I talked about cheap ways of traveling, and one of them was becoming an au pair. I was an au pair myself, and I want to give you some tips to become an au pair, what you must do, what you must not do, how to become one, and how to pick the right family for you. So I was an au pair for about 1.5 years in England, and I had the best family ever, and I want to share with you how I found them, how I knew they were the one, what I went through before, and how the whole process went. So if you don't know what being an au pair means and what it is really, being an au pair is going abroad. You can't be an au pair in your own country, and it's basically babysitting while living at the family's house. So you learn the language by babysitting them, by taking care of the kids. Most of the time you will have to cook or to do some house chores, such as cleaning the house or just doing the laundry or something. In my family I was taking care of 3 children, but mainly 2, because the older one was about 13, so she wasn't taking care of herself. But I was still taking care of the 2 others, and sometimes of the big one. So how to be an au pair? First of all, to be an au pair you have to find your family. It is not that hard, but you have to know how to do it. So there is 2 different ways. The way where you pay for someone to find you a family, and the way where you find the family yourself without paying anything. If you want someone to find the family for you, you have to go through an agency, and there are many au pair agencies that you can find online. But I decided to go through the free way, which was the best for me as well, because I thought no one will be able to tell if the family is good for me as good as I will. So I went on this very famous website, which is called Au Pair World, and you will find a link down below if you want to visit it. But Au Pair World is very known for finding families, but be careful. In some countries such as Australia you cannot go through Au Pair World because there are some laws about it, and you have to go through an agency. And I know it's the same for the US as well. So in Au Pair World you basically go through the website. Families have to pay to go on it. You don't have to, so it just shows that the family is willing to pay a little amount of money to find the right person. So you don't find random families on them, but you still have to be careful because anyone can be on there, and sometimes they don't really respect the laws for au pairs. So you have to know by law you are not allowed to take care of children under 2, and you have to have a certain amount of pocket money. And we will talk about this topic a bit later in the video. There are certain laws depending on the country that you have to respect. To go through Au Pair World, you basically set up your profile and say who you are willing to take care of, where you want to go, and then you can browse families that match this description. So at the time when I wanted to be an au pair, I was only 17, and you can be an au pair in some countries when you are 17 but not before, and most countries want au pair from 18. In Europe you can be an au pair if you're 17. So there are some specific countries, and I wanted England, and England was good for me. So I struggled a bit finding a family just because I was 17, and people thought it wasn't legal, or people just thought I would be not as mature as some other au pairs. And quite frankly, I don't think I was any worse than some 20 years old au pairs. The family that I found wanted actually younger au pairs because they thought they were more willing to prove themselves that they were able to do it. So I found the perfect family for this, but keep in mind that it took me more than 3 months. Most au pairs find their family in a week, but I don't think I would like that because I wanted to make sure they were the right fit for me. So I found my family's profile online on Au Pair World. I sent them a message, which I had basically a template for every family that I found, and I was kind of adding things with the kid's name to make it more personal. We started chatting a bit, and then they asked me for an online interview. The interview was really stressful, and I had prepared a list of questions I wanted to ask them, such as what do you expect from me during the day, what is a typical au pair day like, do you like your au pair to be part of the family or not that much into it. I wanted to be part of the family, and I know some au pairs don't want to be part of the family as much as this. They just want it to be like a job. I wanted to be part of the family, and my family was sharing my view on this, so that was perfect. We had a couple of Skype calls and then they told me, yeah, that's fine, we are picking you, you can come. So depending on the country you are in, the least amount of pocket money you can find will be different. So in England, I remember it couldn't be less than £70 a week. If your family wants to pay you monthly, just ask them why and tell them it would be better for you to be paid weekly, because it's easier for you when you arrive in a new country. You most of the time have many purchases to make and you want to have money on the first week. So I was taking care of 3 children, mostly 2. I was not cleaning the house, I was not doing the laundry, I was just cooking meals every single evening. So keep that in mind. And I was mostly working 25 hours a week and I was paid £80 a week. That was on the first year. On the second year, I was working a little more, about 35 hours a week, and I was paid £100 a week. So I think £80 a week was fine, but I obviously like £100 a week better because I could save a little bit more money on the side and still enjoy my life in London. If you are in a capital city, which I wasn't, I was just next to it, you will be paid a bit more just because the life is more expensive. You can also expect your family to pay for your transport fee, to give you a car if you have a driving license. Most of my friends' families were paying for their travel card, which were allowing them to take the underground in London because they had to pick up the kids, and it wouldn't make any sense to ask an au pair to pay for their own travel card when they actually need this travel card to work. So make sure you ask this type of question if you have to pick the kids up in a place where you cannot have a car. I was walking to the school, so I didn't need any of this, but I made sure to ask this question because it was important to me. If you already have a family and you're still here, you are probably wondering about how are you going to make friends. It's actually really easy. It's like the easiest thing about being an au pair. Finding friends is basically saying on the internet that you have no friends. So you have those Facebook groups in all the capital city and all the areas where you can find a lot of au pairs called Au Pair London or French Au Pair in London or just Au Pair in England. And you can find those Facebook groups really easily. You usually have to answer a couple of questions such as where are you an au pair and how old are you to enter this group, just to make sure you're not a bot. And then you just post something saying, hey, I'm new here, I'm looking for friends, I like taking pictures and Harry Potter. And then hundreds of people are going to answer your post and you just will meet them at some. So you have to be willing to meet new people and tell them over and over about your life. But most people I met abroad are still really good friends of mine. Some of my best friends I met abroad, they were au pairs. So finding friends abroad is not that hard. You just have to use the internet. So that's it for this video. If you have any question and you would like me to make a whole other video about maybe how to pick your family or what question to ask when you have an interview, comment down below what you would be interested in and I can make a whole other video. That's a topic I really like talking about. So if you have questions, please ask, give me a thumbs up, subscribe maybe. I like traveling, flowers and enjoying life. So if you're into this as well, maybe subscribe and I'll see you next time. Cheers!